What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. More transfer news, more transfer gossip. Granite Xhaka being linked with a move to Roma, Jose Mourinho's Roma, and Ruben Neves, of course, the name on everyone's lips at the moment as the potential replacement. We'll look at that story as well as some other things. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Thank you for your brilliant support over the last few videos and throughout the season. But in general, you know, since the season's finished, man, the views, the likes have been absolutely fantastic. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Big up to everyone in the comments. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you're all well today. Great weather in the UK today, man. We got, what, 24, 25 degrees. We're not used to the sunshine in England, man, you know. So, yeah, we'll get into it today. But Granite Xhaka on his way out of Arsenal. I mean, yo, man, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm kind of relieved, you know. You know, these kind of players here, you know, he's not even the worst midfielder at Arsenal, but we have to move these men on. These are the people that have been kind of like just holding us back for years. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to celebrate and disrespect the man, but I'm just like, yo, I want to see Xhaka and Bellerin and El Neni and, you know, Eddie and Ketty. I want to see these men leave the football club. No disrespect. If we're going to get better players in, we have to get rid of some of these players. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Xhaka has to go, blood, man. Man's been here for years. We signed him over N'Golo Kante. I'm watching N'Golo Kante Champions League final. Put in an epic performance covering every blade of grass on the football pitch. Granite Xhaka, yo, it's time to go, man. In the words of the great Claude, it's time to go, Granite. It is time to go. So let's have a look at the story anyway. Brett said your channel is on fire. Big up, man. You lot, you know, you guys are the ones making it that way. You know, I just put out the content. You lot receive it in a good way. So I appreciate all the support. Jay said, I'm going to celebrate. Why not? He disrespected us. And you know, yeah, you're right, you know, to be fair. Have you ever seen a man stick his finger up at the fans at a football game, you know? Big up Joshua. He said, leave Eddie alone. Sorry, Eddie, man. I always slander Eddie, don't I? Can't help it. It's only, you know, it's only a joke. But yeah, Xhaka for me, man. The man have to go, man. Get rid of him. Let's have a look. Just as I was coming on, Charles Watts tweeted about 10 minutes ago, Xhaka is edging closer to Roma. All parties wanting to get the deal done quickly now. Neves on Arsenal's list of replacements. So, I won't click on the story. I have read the story briefly before I came on here. Roma made an offer yesterday of 15 million euros for Granite Xhaka. A bit of a cheeky bid, that, really. I mean, I don't rate Granite Xhaka very highly, but 15 million euros, it's 12.8 million pounds. Now, you know, he's got to be worth more than 12.8 million, you know, even in this market. But the rumours are saying that Arsenal are willing to accept 20 million euros, which is around 17.5 million pounds. 17.5 million, that's half of what we paid for Granite Xhaka. He cost us 35 million, of course, in the famous deal that we did ahead of Kante. Now, I think Xhaka, Sidon said Xhaka's value is less than 10 million. Now, listen, I think, you know, you're talking about the Swiss captain, 28 years of age, been in the Prem for years, plays for Arsenal, 2 years left on his deal. If he played for Liverpool, they'd get 30 million for him just because they're so good at selling players. There's no way we should be getting 15 million euros they offered, not even 15 million pound. As I said, 12.8 million. So, yeah, I think Arsenal are holding out. When I've read this story in full, Xhaka wants the deal to be completed by the weekend before he starts at the Euros. Mourinho is a big fan of him, wants him in midfield, and believes he will do well in Italy. I have said many times that I think Granite Xhaka would be a half-decent player in a slower style of football like Syria. And I think he would do okay there. Everyone wants the deal to get done. Apparently, they've already agreed terms verbally on a 4-year contract for Granite Xhaka to go there. So the first offer, 15 million euros, set to be rejected. What I'm reading is Arsenal want 20 million euros plus some small add-ons. So with add-ons, I think you're looking at 20 million pounds. It will probably cost around 23, 24 million euros, including add-ons. 20 million quid, I think, will get the deal done for Granite Xhaka. In the current market, pandemic, the fact that Arsenal need to sell players, I would take that. You know, if they made that offer of 20 million euros plus add-ons, I would accept that. Yeah, maybe we could get more, but we haven't got time to mess about. It's a short transfer window. You know, with the fact that there's the Euros as well, it's very difficult to get deals done. Often agents don't want players to leave before the Euros because they think, well, you know what? If he goes to the Euros, does well, we can get an extra 10 grand a week. We can sell him for an extra 5 million, 10 million. So for me, Granite Xhaka, 20 million quid, get the deal done, get him out of there. Thomas said Kante would not have transformed this club. The problems are bigger. I hear what you're saying. You know, he's thrived under the right circumstances, N'Golo Kante. The Leicester team was a counter-attacking team. Him and Danny Drinkwater, they sat in front of the back four. They hunted, won the ball back, gave it to the ball players, you know, your Mahrez and people like that. Got the ball forward quick to Vardy. You look at Chelsea, I think when he first went there, I think they had Matic and players like that, and Fabregas, you know, Diego Costa. He had a great team to thrive under. You look at the French team, when he came in, he had Matuidi and Pogba. It's a great midfield to excel in. I don't think that Kante would have been at the level he's been at Chelsea, at Arsenal, although I still think he would have done better than what Granite Xhaka has done. Xhaka said, big up Curtis from sunny Brixton. Like and subscribe, people. Hey, don't it make the mood better when it's sunny, man, you know? Jose Mourinho equals Arsenal equals decline FC. Listen, Mourinho's done us a favour here, you know? He's come and took a player that we've struggled to get rid of. So big up Jose, you know. He didn't do well at Tottenham, and now he's coming to take Xhaka off us, so I don't mind. I never did learn to spell his name. $9.99 plus some training tops for Xhaka. Oh, dear me. Listen, I don't think many Arsenal fans will be sitting there going, oh, I'm so devastated that we're losing Xhaka. I mean, listen, if we put this into context, and let's be real, let's give him his fair due. He's probably had one of his best seasons in an Arsenal shirt this year, right? If I'm being totally honest. But it's still not the level of player that I want, you know. If he was a squad player at Arsenal, I'd probably be like, okay, whatever. But the fact the guy starts so much makes me think, do you know what? I'm not about to sit here and be disappointed if he leaves. He needs to be moved on. And I don't think he would have actually accepted being a squad player. He's got quite a big ego. I don't think he would have accepted that. Ben said celebration begins when we get rid of Xhaka. I mean, I'm playing it all calm and humble now, but when that deal gets done, if it does, I might be a little bit different. The guy's made too many mistakes. The most mistakes in the Premier League leading to goals since 2016. Even this season, you look at Burnley at home. Dominating the game, looking like we're going to win. Xhaka grabs someone round the throat, gets a red card. We end up losing the game 1-0. Burnley away, winning the game, look like we're in control. Granite Xhaka, simple pass to David Luiz, has a touch, kicks it straight against Chris Wood, equaliser. That has potentially cost us 5 points. Now, I'm not blaming him for the season. There are other games where you can pick out other players, missed chances, defensive mistakes, so I'm not singling him out. But obviously we're focusing on him with the bid. He's cost us points. So even in a season where we're going, oh, this is one of Granite's better seasons, he's still cost us. So listen, I won't be losing any sleep about Granite Xhaka leaving the football club. Omar says, take the offer. Darren said, Mourinho is trolling. I mean, I have to admit, £12.8 million is a bit of a troll from Jose, man. He's taking us for a bit of a joke there, you know. Sell Arteta to the San Marino Championship team. I think he'd struggle over there. You know what I mean? Xhaka then Bellend, hopefully. Happy days. Yeah, let's get Bella in and, you know, El Neni and a few others. Maybe Lacquer. Let him meet all with Mustafi. I think Mustafi's actually out of contract at the moment. Xhaka wanted out a while ago. Yeah, last year. Hertha Berlin were in for him. Mikel Arteta convinced him to stay at the football club, which I didn't mind at the time. He'd just come in. He probably wanted stability, and we did finish the season well and win the FA Cup. I felt in the summer he should have considered him going, but maybe he got caught up in his form a little bit and thought, he finished the season well, decided to keep him, brought back Ceballos, and it didn't work. Sometimes you can't get caught up on simply the fact that a player's in decent form. You have to kind of look at the bigger picture and think, is he good enough long term to be our main centre midfielder or be at the football club? And for me, listen, I just think it's definitely time for Granite Xhaka to be moved on. And, if this deal gets done, then I think it suits everyone. I think it suits all parties if he leaves. 20 million quid will do for me, and we were never going to get the 35 million back that we played. He wanted stability, and so we stably declined. Yeah, something like that. You'll see your evolution in this content game is amazing. Keep on keeping on, bro. Hey, big up Eco African 2029. I appreciate that, bro. We have to rebuild this midfield, says Anthony, 100%, man. I think it's one of the weakest parts of our team. Tony C said, when he leaves, let's all throw our tops off and tell him to F off. I mean, listen, I know, the way he was being abused is never going to be acceptable in football. I will never, condone what he was getting, especially some of the online abuse was horrific. You can't call those people football fans. But you can't react like that on the football pitch to the fans. Those are match-going fans singing, cheering, and you take the armband off, throw it on the floor, stick your finger up, tell them to F off. He's lucky that he continued his Arsenal career after that, because if he did that at Liverpool or certain other clubs, I don't think he would have played for the football club again. Curtis, nobody rates Xhaka, but every fan wants 20 million plus. It's contradicting. I think we're just looking at it as the fact that the profile, should still hold some value. The fact he's the Swiss captain, he's played for Arsenal for years. He consistently plays. You would hope from that point of view, you could at least get 20 million pound for him. Tookie said, Curtis sat at home with leg in a cast from an Achilles tear. Appreciate the content. Get well soon, man. I know a few players who've torn their Achilles before. Make sure you recover properly. What I would say, don't rush back from that injury, man. Get well soon. Appreciate you tuning in. Faye said if he did that at United, he would have never played again. I hear that as well. I don't think he would have played, to be honest. But there says, big up Curtis, big up bro. WF, take the 12.8 and run away. Because the worry is with this, imagine Mourinho just says, okay, you don't want 12.8, I'm done. Or he might come back with a slightly higher offer and then just say, that's it. Because clubs know we want to sell. And this is the problem with Arsenal in this transfer window. Clubs know Arsenal want to sell. So if they look at Granite Xhaka and say, he's probably worth 20, but we'll offer 12. They'll reject it. We'll come back with 15. If they don't take 15, we'll walk away because they know we need to sell these players. And I believe this is the reason Arsenal are not signing new players at the moment, because I think they have to sell. I think they need to sell players. Liam said, I want 18 million cash, no cash converter installments. Our accountant already had a tough job on his hands. Yeah, definitely had a tough one. 20 million for a left-footed fridge. Roma are getting ripped off. Instead of a left-footed fridge, Oh, man. 20 mil. It's an expensive deal for Roma in this current window, I got to be honest. Alan said, what's up, Curtis? Another day, another therapy session. We still haven't signed a player, When are we going to sign our first player in this transfer window? John said, grey skies in Ireland, but I get to catch Curtis Shaw show. Big up from Ireland. Liverpool fan, you'll never walk alone. Big up for tuning in. We have a lot of fans of other channels who tune in and support, so I appreciate it. Segler said, Curtis, if we buy Basuma, how do you see us coping in midfield with him and Partey going to the African Cup of Nations? And obviously El Neni as well. So we would potentially have pretty much no midfield. So I think this is a part of the reason Arsenal are not putting Basuma at the top of their list, although I would go for him. Ben said, I wouldn't even pay a £3 meal deal for Xhaka. Take 12.9 and run away. Oh, man, what do you get? Like a chocolate, a drink and a sandwich? That's probably going to give you more value than Xhaka. Is Neves another Xhaka? Someone says, and 20 million is a lot for a tractor. Listen, let's talk about Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves is being linked with Arsenal. We did talk about him yesterday. He's being linked with Arsenal. And there was a lot of mixed responses in the comments yesterday about Ruben Neves. Some people think he's a very good player, an upgrade. As I said, Manchester City wanted to buy him for 60 million pound in 2019. Pep Guardiola was desperate to sign him. He felt they needed a ball player, but they ended up signing Rodri from Atletico Madrid. I personally think Neves is a bit better, quite a bit better than Xhaka. I think the problem is, as football fans, we get very caught up on form. And Ruben Neves has had a quiet season at Wolves. Wolves have had a generally quiet season this year. They've been a lot more negative. They haven't scored as many goals. Neto's been injured. Raul Jimenez has been injured. And I think it's affected their team. And I think Nuno has played a lot more defensive this season. So their ball players like Neves and that, they haven't thrived as much. As I said, I spoke to Talking Wolves yesterday, who runs a very good Wolves fan channel on YouTube. He's a season ticket holder. And he said to me that, look, Ruben Neves is a very good player. He's fantastic on the ball. He thinks he's better than Xhaka. But he said he has struggled because of the system this year. And he feels he needs to go to a team that play better football than Wolves for Neves to really show how good he is. You know, if Pep Guardiola wants to buy you for 60 million, you're not a bad player. I think the people's worry is how much bigger of an upgrade is Ruben Neves on Granite Xhaka. If we're only going to get 15 to 20 million for Xhaka and they're talking about 35 to 40 for Ruben Neves, is that justified, you know, in the extra money that we're going to spend on him? And not only that, whether he's worth the money or not, is that the right midfielder for Arsenal to buy? Would you rather spend 40 million on Bissouma or 40 million on Ruben Neves? As I said yesterday, it all comes down to the system and the philosophy of the manager. This manager clearly, as I said, he wants to play out from the back. And I don't think he looks at Bissouma and Thomas Partey as a good enough midfield if you're going to try and play, you know, possession-based football. Neither one of them are exceptional on the ball. So I think he wants a technician to go and play next to Thomas Partey, which would be someone like Ruben Neves. Big up Franny said Neves a huge upgrade on Xhaka. McKeel said Neves is levels. Neves is a number 10 according to Robbie. No chance. I don't know what he's seeing there. He's definitely a deep-lying playmaker. Neves has been ready for this move. I think Neves is a good player. What I would say, I wouldn't want to pay 40 million for him. You know, I don't think he's worth 40 million pound. I would rather, I think when a player's had a quiet year, we're in the middle of a pandemic, you should be talking 30 million for him rather than 40, in my opinion. But I would take Neves. Neves is a 6, deep lying playmaker. And Money Green said he will take Neves. A tractor turns quicker than Xhaka. It's harsh, man. Do you know what? Before we just quickly move on from Granite Xhaka, I'll just quickly get into his super chat. Big up, yeah, buddy. He said, big up, Big C. Shout out from the Philippines. Been stuck out here since lockdown. Wow. Neves bid will be a payment plan structure, just like the Emmy deal. Get back safely from the Philippines. Hope you're all right over there. And listen, it will. They need the money. Wolves. So they may accept a payment plan, you know, which would suit Arsenal. Neil said Matheus Pereira on Bissouma or Pereira and Neves. Listen, if you saw my video yesterday, I said that I would love to get Matheus Pereira in that number 10 role. And even though under this manager, I think he will go for Neves because, as I said, he wants a ball player. I'm a big fan of Bissouma. You put Bissouma next to Thomas Partey, I think you've got a real strong base to work from. And then Pereira in the 10 with Pepe and Saka out wide. But me, I would like to see Arsenal playing counter-attacking football where he wants to play possession-based. Me, Bissouma, but Arteta, no doubt, Neves. Ben said you get both if you're a serious club, but unfortunately, we know we're not a serious club, you know. Wolves did a crazy payment plan with Jota. Liverpool have only paid 7 million for him so far. So hopefully they will accept cash generator business from Arsenal, which I'm sure we'll turn up with when we make this offer for Ruben Neves. Granite Xhaka, obviously on his way out, 28 years of age. He's been at the club for a while. A player that I just have never really looked at and thought this guy is the answer. He turns 29 in September. That picture probably pretty much sums up his time at Arsenal. Hands on heads. He's probably just fouled someone and got sent off, even though he's in a Switzerland shirt there. But you look at his stats for Arsenal. His best season was, what was his best season? The thing what's bad with Granite Xhaka is this ill discipline. You look at his whole time at Arsenal. First season at the club, 5 yellows, 2 reds. The next 3 seasons, 10 yellow cards every season. And then the season just gone, 7 yellows and 1 red, 1 goal, 2 assists. I know that's not really his game, but way too many yellow cards, not the answer, in my opinion. Not the answer. His best football has been under Arteta, possibly. But he's just ill-disciplined, in my opinion. I said Uncle Albert. And yeah, way too many yellows. Look at the amount of yellows. If they were goals or assists, we wouldn't mind. But, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, you're looking at 42 yellow cards in 5 seasons. That is absolutely shocking. That is absolutely shocking for a centre midfielder, and then chuck 3 red cards on top of it. It's just not good enough. Xhaka is not that bad. He's just not a footballer. What is he then, bro, if he ain't a footballer? 42 yellow cards in 5 seasons. He's just wrestling players, isn't he? He's just running around, mashing players up. Doesn't make sense. He's never been the answer. He's not the guy that we need moving forward. And me personally, I'll be happy to see Granite Xhaka replaced if he goes and completes this move to Roma. One thing I will say, he always puts the effort in, but he's just not the answer. WWE, John Cena, Granite Cena just running around tackling people and rugby tackling people by the look of it. Curtis, read the good stats as well. I don't know what the good stats are. 2 goals, 1 goal, 4 goals, 1 goal, 1 goal. I suppose the good thing, he gets you probably 30 games a season, but I'm struggling to see the good stats. Big up Nelson with the super chat. He said, Fernandinho, surplus at City, Brazilian, 30 plus, got Arsenal all over it. Clip it. You could see it, couldn't you? I'm actually surprised that they're talking about Man City letting Fernandinho go, but I think maybe his legs have gone a little bit now. You could see at some stage, Mikel Arteta is going to turn his hands to Manchester City. The last few years we've been buying Chelsea's leftovers. I'm sure we'll go and get some Manchester City ones at some stage. So, yeah, Fernandinho available on a free transfer. You could see him ending up at Arsenal. Big C, we want Basuma. The problem is he doesn't seem to be at the top of the list, which I don't think any Arsenal fan can believe at the moment, why he's not at the top of the list. James says, greetings from South Sudan. Big up, bro. What a record. Vinnie Jones would be proud. Vinnie would love that. 42 yellow cards in 5 seasons. He'd be all over that. Xhaka is great when he is not playing. Lee. Oh, dear. What a comment. He's great when he's not playing. Pocket Gunner said, big up Curtis from Kenya. Xhaka suits Mourinho's tactics. He could be the new Gilberto. I was thinking more he could be probably the new, Matic, left-footed. Not the quickest, maybe that kind of role he would suit. Did those 2 assists come in the Southampton away game? I'm not even sure. 2 assists there in the season. And obviously his 1 goal was the banging free kick against Chelsea. Jim Gooner said Neves, he's 24. He's got years ahead of him. When he was in the Championship, he was unreal. Better than Buendia this season at Norwich. When Wolves smashed it 2 seasons ago, he was instrumental. We'll have to see. A lot of players are judged on stats now, and Neves is another player where his stats are not, they don't look exciting, you know what I mean? He's not that kind of player. When we look at him as well, he seems to be getting booked a lot as well. Are we buying the right-footed Granite Xhaka? No disrespect to Neves. Neves is 24, but I see a whole heap of yellow cards again. But I suppose the one good thing, at least he scores a few more goals. 5 goals, 1 assist this season, 8 yellow cards, 9 yellow cards last season, and 8 the year before. He'll fit straight in at Arsenal, you know. Yellow card central. What's wrong with these midfielders getting booked every minute? Pure yellows, bro. But he is a better player, you know. Neves is definitely a better player than Granite Xhaka, in my opinion, even though we're calling him Xhaka Part 2 here. He did score a banger against Arsenal earlier in the season. With Xhaka leaving, wouldn't this be a great opportunity to try integrate Guendouzi or Torreira next to Partey? I think with Torreira, he just doesn't want to be in England. You know, he's never seemed happy over here in England. So I think he'll want out. And with Guendouzi, I just think him and the manager clash too much. And I just don't think he'll get an opportunity. So there's Ruben Neves. I mean, the stats, they don't look great, but these aren't players that you buy for their stats. You buy them for what they can do on the ball, how quickly they move the ball. This is why I never believe in stats. Yeah, listen, you have to understand the role of the player before you look at the stats. A deep-lying playmaker, he's not going to have 15 assists and 10 goals in a season, you know. So we'll have to see with that one. Let's have a look here. Stats, Curtis, are a load of tosh. Mustafi apparently had better stats than Van Dijk the year Liverpool won the league. I mean, listen, certain stats obviously count. If you're a striker, your goals contribution is definitely going to be an important stat. Creative midfielder are the same, you know, goals and assists. But as you said here, Caps, it's the eye test. Real captain, man, just said Caps now, yeah? The eye test is the key. You know what you see when you look at a player. Xhaka and Neves are slow on the turn, which makes them get booked. Yeah, possibly. Is their lack of pace the thing that gets these guys booked a lot? Neves is an upgrade. He has a brain, which Xhaka doesn't. I think he makes a lot less mistakes, Ruben Neves. When he's on the ball, I feel like he's a competent player. I feel like he's comfortable. He can make things happen. When Xhaka's on the ball, I'm panicking. I'm always thinking, you know, something's going to go wrong. Pereira and Basuma, that will not be expensive. I mean, they're saying 30 to 40 for Basuma, but I think Pereira, they're talking about 15 to 18 million, which for me is an absolute bargain. I see a bit of Scholes in Neves in terms of ball distribution. I mean, that's a big compliment because Paul Scholes is, you know, he was one of the best in that kind of role, deep-lying playmaker. No movement up front as well. Well, that might be a reason why he struggled at Wolves this year with no Jimenez. I think Wolves in general have struggled without him. Wijnaldum available for free. He's on his way to PSG. He was going to Barcelona, but PSG offered him double. Alexis says, big up for the show, Curtis. We really need to act like a serious club. Our rivals next door are really going big like last season. This is embarrassing, bro. When's the last time we acted like a big club? You know, that's the question. That's the problem. Jim Gooner said, big man, speaking of goals with Edouard going Leicester, who would you want Arsenal to go for to replace Xhaka? It's a tricky one because I was looking at Edouard or Memphis Depay. Edouard looks like he's going Leicester, and Memphis Depay is in talks now to go to Barca on a free. We're short of options. We are short of options in the striker department. I think Danny Ings, I don't think that would happen. A lot of people saying this, Vlahovic, hope I'm saying his name right, scored a lot of goals in Italy last season. Young, 21, I believe, international for Serbia. He's someone that maybe we could definitely look at. Man said Laka, the prick, is staying. But there aren't many good options up front. You know, people talking about Andre Silva. Scored a lot of goals for Frankfurt. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, it's so hot in here. My windows are closed. I might have to open the window while I'm on stream. Arsenal got me, you know, got me hot and sweaty in here, bro. It's boiling in here. Adrian, thank you very much for the super chat, bro. Said, what happened with Arsenal's ability to acquire star players? Just remember how hyped Aubameyang was in Dortmund, Van Persie from Feyenoord, especially Aubameyang. Aubameyang came with a massive reputation from Dortmund. And look, we don't seem to be able to get those kind of players now. We have Balogun. Young prospect called Broads could do a job up front. He'd probably do better than Eddie, you know, for real. Big up school fuggery, man. Thoughts on Edouard to Leicester? I think it's a good signing for them. I think it's a good signing. The kind of, you know, he's worked under Brendan Rodgers at Celtic, so I'm not surprised that they've been able to get him. Obviously, here is the Ruben Neves situation. Jay Percy of The Telegraph reporting Arsenal are set to make an offer this week. Wolves want £40 million. I mean, I don't see it happening unless Wolves accept a good payment plan. I mean, someone said in the comments earlier, they took just $7 million up front for Diego Jota from Liverpool. So maybe they would accept Arsenal's cash generator settings, you know, and take only a little bit of money up front. Hey, don't get carried away, man. Leicester fans saying Edouard's better than Aubameyang. We ain't even seen the guy yet in the Prem. How do I recover from the Buendia wound? Listen, we've recovered from Luis Suarez, 40 million and a pound. We've recovered from Alexis Sanchez, Van Persie going to Man United. We can get over Buendia, you know. We can get over him. I think we need other players even more, you know, than Buendia. I think we need a centre mid and players like that. Big up, Richard. I saw your message, by the way. I will get back to you. Thank you for sending me the message. He said, big up Big C from South Florida. Loving the therapy sessions to get me through possibly another summer of discontent. As I said, I am looking at the possibility of coming over for the Arsenal tour. I have sent an email to the US Embassy to ask for the travel requirements and, you know, whether you have to quarantine and things like that. Obviously, Arsenal go on tour to Orlando, Florida at the end of July. I think they're playing Inter Milan and Everton. But 40 million. First of all, for me, on the back of the season that he's just had, added towards the fact it's a pandemic, I think he should be cheaper than 40 million. For me, I'm thinking 30 million. You know, they're not going to just throw him away. He's a Portuguese international. A couple of years ago, he was being linked with Man City for 60 million. They're not just going to chuck him to us. But I do believe that 40 million is too much for him. Listen, I'm sure Arsenal would be willing to pay 40 million if they could get it on the cash generator settings, you know, buy now, pay later. But I think 40 million's a bit much. I'd love to get Jack Harrison from Leeds in exchange for Eddie. I don't think Leeds would want Eddie, man. He didn't even do well there on loan. I believe he's got 3 years left on his deal, Ruben Neves. So we'll see. How can Jota and Neves be the same price exactly? Jota, for me, I felt like was one of their best players. Even though Neves is good, but Jota was fantastic. I actually wanted him at Arsenal. Going to Disney World, yeah, I'd probably be better off going Disney World than going to watch Arsenal, to be honest. It'd be more entertaining. Mike said, big up Curtis Love from St. Albans. Did you see what Xhaka said about when he was linked with Roma? It infuriated me. Yeah, he was basically bigging up Mourinho and just get rid of him. Nilesh said, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I love your content, Big C. Thank you very much. We definitely need better scouts. We sacked most of them last summer. Jay Kang said, Curtis Villarreal. Oh, let's have a look. What's going on here then? Is there some breaking news, people? Apparently, an offer for Hector Bellerin. Oh, let's have a look. This could be a double celebration, Xhaka and Bellerin. Let's have a look, people. This is why you lot are golden in the comments, man. Here we go. Zed, it's come from Di Marcio, who's quite a big account, obviously, in Italy, has said Villarreal have submitted an official offer to Arsenal for Hector Bellerin. Thank you very much. Oh, my days. Your boy, Unai Emery. Oh, my days. How am I forgetting? Unai Emery doing us a favor. Emery and Granite Xhaka. This could turn into a party. I might have to get champagne out the fridge. Villarreal. Good evening. Good evening, Unai. Thank you very much, Unai. I mean, listen, we don't know how much the offer is. We don't know if it's certain. But Unai Emery, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Unai has made an offer for Hector Bellerin. I mean, listen, Bellerin over there in Spain might have a half-decent reputation. You know, he's a Spanish international. He was linked with Barcelona. Unai, what are you doing? Man said I'd give him away. Good evening, Unai. I knew Unai still cared about us, man. But hey, he's come back to rescue us. Thank you, Unai, man. Let's see. I mean, listen, it doesn't say how much the offer is, so I'm not going to get too carried away. Big up O'Malley with a super chat said, Buendia is a good player, but his chance creation stats are padded due to him taking most of Norwich's set pieces. Keep it up, Big C from ATL. Yeah, I did see that as well. Somebody put out a tweet saying that don't get as excited with his created chances thing because he does take all their set pieces. But there you go, breaking news. Big up to you in the comments for putting that in. You know, that's why you lot are golden. Villarreal have submitted an official offer for Hecky B. Hecky Becky could be on his way for to reunite with Unai Emery. Good evening. You know, happy to help. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much for putting that in the comments. I am just looking now. It doesn't say anything about how much this offer is or whether it's been accepted. But listen, it's a good thing that they want to get him. I'm reading here on another page saying, obviously, Foyth, who played at right back, was on loan from Tottenham, and they're not sure whether they'll get that deal completed. So they do need a right back. So Granite Xhaka and Hector Bellerin could be on their way out of Arsenal. I mean, I knew we had to have some good news at some stage. It can't be Arsenal therapy every day. You have to give us something. Do you know what I'm saying? Give us something positive that we can talk about and celebrate. Clear the deadwood, and then let's find out what's going off. And you know what? The story actually says that Seville are interested in Hector Bellerin as well. So maybe they will make an offer for him as well. I mean, listen, if we get rid of Hector Bellerin and Granite Xhaka, I think this is a fantastic start to the transfer window. Get them bottles popping. I'm telling you, man, I'll have to pop bottles if them two leave in the same window. Curtis, you buying the kit now? Nah, bro, I told you, man. Unless something major happens, and I mean major, like we sign a Jack Grealish or Daniel Ek takes over or Antonio Conte gets the job, nah, you ain't seeing me in no kit. Chelsea getting 28.5 for Tomori. I rate Tomori highly, man. Good player. 20 million for Bellerin. I mean, if it was 20 million, I'd snap their hand off for that. Hecky B wanted to move up to the Champions League. I mean, what Villarreal are in the... No, yeah, what am I talking about? I was going to say Villarreal are in the Conference League. No, they beat United. They're in the Champions League. He's going to want that move, you know. Emery liked him as well. He was playing him at the start. I think he got injured, actually, when Emery was the manager. So, yeah, Emery does like him. So, Champions League, you can't blame him for wanting to go. Third kit out this week. I heard the start of next week. That blue third kit will be out. I'm not going near that either. Max Aarons would be an ideal replacement. I mean, the only thing is that I try and get a bit of hope with is if Xhaka's going and Bellerin's going, you can't then turn around to the transfer market and then say, right, we need a right back, we need a centre mid. You have to have them deals already lined up and ready to go. You know, so I'm hoping that Arsenal have got a right back lined up. For me, Max Aarons, and for me, Basuma. But if not, I mean, we haven't even really been linked with many right backs. That's the problem. So I don't know. No merch till change. 100 bands, man. You'll see me in the old kits. Let Hecky B go. They can keep him. I mean, listen, I'm trying to just find out some details of how much that offer might have been. But there's nothing showing up at the moment. If any of you guys hear about it, then just whack it in the comments. It doesn't seem to have been released yet, anything to do with how much that offer is. But I would think Arsenal would want 20 million. Matt said, I want Hecky B to stay. I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would want him to stay, you know. A lot of opposing fans, they want Arteta to stay. They want, you know, Bellerin to stay. 12 to 15 million. Surely it's got to be at least 15 million plus for Bellerin. Listen, if we could get 15, 16, 17 million for Bellerin and the same for Xhaka, you know, if you get 35 million for those two, I think you take the money and just move, man. This ain't the summer to be messing about, you know. School Fuggery said, I really don't get the sudden Xhaka loving, man. Does everybody forget how shocking he was for giving the ball away and being a defensive liability? Get rid? 100%. I don't get it. You know, people were comparing him to Patrick Vieira the other day. I mean, let's be serious. You know, that's just embarrassing. I don't rate him particularly highly at all. Thomas said, you lot have talked their price down. And you as well, bruv. And you. You know, we've hammered them that much, they're worth nothing. Jim Gooner said, I wanted the Trippier swap. England player, set pieces, and would be Sol Campbell part 2. Sol Campbell was an elite defender. Trippier, I've never been the biggest fan of him. I think he works well in that Atletico Madrid team because they're so defensively solid and structured. I think in the Arsenal back four, because the one thing I don't think Trippier is that great at is actually defending. I think that's one of his weaknesses. Michael said Patrick Xhaka. Oh, my days. This is our fan base at times, man. We're in a difficult position, you know. Villarreal to the rescue. Unai, you beast, Unai. I knew there was a good manager in there somewhere. Come back and buy Hector Bellerin off us for 20 million and, you know, we keep it moving. We'll forgive you for that. Italian press reporting Granite Xhaka is closer. They're even saying the transfer could be finalized by the end of this week. So look out for that. Roma apparently still in negotiations to get a deal done for Granite Xhaka. Hakimi transfer listed. The problem with this, apparently they want 70 million euros for Hakimi, which, listen, it's not realistic for Arsenal. Arsenal are not going to be paying those types of prices for players. I didn't even realize 1.5k people in the live chat. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It'll be much, much appreciated. We're climbing. You know, we're on our way to 30,000 subscribers, hopefully, and then onwards and upwards from there. So smash a like on the video. I think the last two videos, one had 2,000 and the one before after that had 1,000. So brilliant support on the channel. Like the video and subscribe. One thing I wanted to look at, like you said, yeah, Hakimi. Well, they're actually saying that PSG may even back out of that deal as they think it's too expensive. But one thing I wanted to look at was this story regarding Matteo Guendouzi. Now, it's an interesting story. He's kind of the forgotten man of Arsenal. I think everyone just assumes he's leaving. He's going to go to Marseille. And, you know, we'll probably never see him play for Arsenal again. But this story has come out that Arsenal have an option of extending his contract by another year. And what this will enable Arsenal to do is ask for more money, because if he has 2 years left on his deal, all of a sudden he's a more expensive proposition to be bought. And the club are looking to extend his contract by a further 12 months, extending his deal to 2 years, making him a more expensive player. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Will Arsenal actually, what's the saying? Cutting off your nose to spite your face, because if he's got 2 years left on his deal, he then becomes more expensive. Is it then more difficult to sell him? Do you just have to say, you know what, this hasn't worked, he doesn't get on with the manager, and just get rid of him? Or do you extend the contract and make it more difficult to sell him by making him more expensive? Vegas Guna, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, Kurt, do you really see us getting both Basuma and Neves? It would be great, but I'd be shocked. We usually don't move like that. Nah, brother, I think it's one or the other. I think they will go for Ruben Neves purely based off the fact that Wolves, you got to remember, Wolves are willing to sell him. They need money. They want to get new players in. They've got a new manager. He's going to want a transfer budget. So they might accept the payment structure of Arsenal, you know, cash converter settings. Whereas Brighton are not in a rush to sell Basuma. He was probably their best player last season. So I think there's a big difference in those deals. You know, I think the Wolves are happy to move Neves on where Brighton want to hang on to Basuma. Grego, thank you very much for the super chat. Bro said, what about Van der Beek? I mean, we just heard today Van der Beek is out of the Euros for Holland. So I'm not sure how long that injury is going to keep him out for. But listen, a lot of people have said, Arsenal should go and get Van der Beek. But I just think the fact that he's at United, I don't think Solskjaer would make that deal easy. And I don't think that fans would want a player that has kind of flopped at United. I think some would accept it, but I think some would just say go for someone else. Curtis, why is your focus so less on getting a quality right back like Hakimi? Listen, for me, right back is a top priority for Arsenal and something that we need to address. I just think if they're asking for 70 million euros for Hakimi, I don't see Arsenal spending that kind of money for him. I think they'll look to get a Max Aarons or a Lamptey, or we were being linked with the guy Emerson from Real Betis. Those guys are going to cost you maybe 20, 30 million. I think that's the kind of player that Arsenal will look for. If we had that kind of ambition, Hakimi would be brilliant, but they won't spend that on him. Clara said nothing special about Buendia. A good thing Arsenal didn't sign him. I mean, time will tell. Invincibles is better than the Champions League. I mean, listen, it's down for debate. We were talking about it the other day. Would you give up the Invincibles for a Champions League trophy, or would you downgrade it to a title with a defeat? It's always an interesting debate. Roy Morris said, big up Curtis, love your Buendia show. I'm a Villa fan, but your best stream ever. Watch every stream of yours now. Thank you very much, Roy. Enjoy Buendia. Thanks a lot, mate. You caused further pain to Arsenal after you took 6 points off us last year. I actually do like Villa, and I think Villa are a good club. But you've caused more grief to Arsenal fans this week. But thank you for tuning in, Roy. Anybody who hasn't seen that stream, as I said, Saturday, a lot of people were saying it was the best stream I've ever done or the funniest one. So go back and look at that one. But as I say, thank you all for your great support. And give me your thoughts on this. What would you do regarding Matteo Guendouzi? Number one, would you keep him? Number two, would you extend his contract? It's now come out that Arsenal have an option to extend his contract and add another year to the deal, but that would then make it more difficult for clubs to buy him because, it would be a 2-year deal. He would cost more money. So would you just say, listen, 1 year, get rid of him, get him out the door, or would you extend the contract and make it more difficult? Let me know in the comments. Big up the Green Gooner. He said, big up Big C. Beginning to be a bit of a joke. Arteta came out saying he wanted to get business done early. Leicester, Villa, Liverpool, and others are all strengthening around us while we sit on our hands. Bro, thank you very much for the super chat and your support as always. Arsenal, they say one thing and do another, and Mikel Arteta falls very much into that category. He said that we'd already lined up the players we were going to go for. He wanted to get business done early before the Euros. We're now sitting here on the 8th of June, Tuesday, and we are 3 days away from the Euros. We haven't signed a player and we haven't sold a player. Leicester have signed Samore. They're going to get Edouard done. Liverpool have got Konate. Villa have signed Buendia. They're looking like they may get Ward-Prowse. And we haven't done anything. And, of course, this is why we fall behind. Because we, as you say, we sit on our hands and wait. Ben said, breaking news, Joshua's fight against Usyk is set to be played in the Tottenham Stadium in September. At least somebody will be lifting silverware in the Tottenham Stadium. It will be the first time in a long time, Anthony Joshua probably lifting up his belts. It will be the first time that White Hart Lane has seen a trophy or silverware for a long time. I had to do it, man. I couldn't help it. Brendan said, hey, Curtis, would extend Guendouzi's contract and loan him out to the French League as his value will go up there. He'll improve year on year if he stops acting like a 5-year-old plonker. Good point. And I think that would make sense because if he's got a year left on his deal and nobody comes with a satisfactory bid, you're kind of stuck with a guy that doesn't want to be in there that's running out of contract. So I think Arsenal should extend his contract because it gives you that option to loan him out for another year if no one buys him. And maybe in a year's time, you're talking about a different player. Maybe Guendouzi improves. MP said, keep Guendouzi and sack Arteta. Oh, dear. Well, I wouldn't argue with the sack Arteta bit. Matthew Jones said, big up Curtis, best time of the day, makes work go quick. Hey, man, appreciate your support and glad to help. Glad to help you get through your work. Josh said, I've only recommended 2 football-related YouTubers. You were second off yesterday's stream. A man said, listen, right, I got this link for the PS5. Yeah, man, said Arsenal were offering a PS5 to Norwich for Buendia with a structured repayment plan. Big up, Joz. I appreciate you joining the channel and recommending the channel. Appreciate it. That background trio, I told you, as I say every day, History Channel FC people. That's what we are right now. If you want to see quality Arsenal, you got to watch Premier League years on Sky Sports. You can't watch Sky Sports News. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch Premier League years. You got to watch the History Channel and get your old O2 kits out. That's where we're at, unfortunately. Curtis, which is the first Euro watch-along? What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the first game. So I'll do Turkey against Italy, I believe, on Friday. Is that the first game? I'm not going to be doing all the games for the Euros. Yeah, Turkey against Italy, 8 o'clock on Friday. I will do that. And then obviously I'll be doing all the England games. And then I'll cherry pick some of the bigger games of the tournament. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do like Macedonia and games like that. But if we got like a France versus Germany or something like that, or, you know, Portugal, Belgium, games like that, I'll cherry pick those games. So every England game, and we'll do the first game, obviously, Turkey against Italy on Friday. When's the Turkish Curtis collab? We'll get that sorted. You know, it's just time. But yeah, definitely I'll get Turkish back on here, and maybe I'll go on his channel. Big C was on fire yesterday. Bro, they just got me cracking jokes. That's the only way I know how to deal with it at the moment at Arsenal, you know. It's like a coping mechanism. France, Portugal, and Germany, I believe they're all in the same group. So from probably Thursday, what I'll be doing, I'll still do the daily Arsenal content because, you know, stuff's always happening at Arsenal. But I will start doing either a second stream or another pre-recorded video, and I will start building up to the Euros as well. We'll look at the groups. We'll look at what team we think is going to win those groups, who we think are going to win the tournaments, who's going to be the top goal scorer. What I might do, actually, for the Euros, just to add something to it, I might create a fantasy league, whether it be Sky Sports or one of those, and all you guys can get involved, and we'll make it a bit of fun, maybe a little prize for the winner, something like that. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, a little fantasy league for the Euros. And then obviously I can set that up, put a link or a code or whatever you have to do in the comments. You guys all join in, and maybe we do a little prize at the end of the Euros for whoever wins that. So let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, people. 1,500 of you in here. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes. That would be greatly appreciated. And keep subscribing if you haven't already. MO7 said, Big C been fire this past week. Oh, man, I've had to, bro. Curtis, I would love you to change it to Danielson if we get someone good, big up. I don't know about Danielson, bro. He gave me a lot of frustration at Arsenal. We always seem to sign Brazilians that don't play like Brazilians, you know. We signed Danielson, who had very little flair in midfield. We had Andre Santos, who was like the least Brazilian left back you've ever seen in your life. And then we've got Willian, who just seems to have lost everything he ever had. We will do that Wenger stream this week. It may be at the weekend, in fact, because I'm just trying to get a group of guests on for that, because I really want to go in depth on that. But I will get that sorted this week, Dominic. Definitely. Don't worry about that. Curtis Shaw TV transfer daily. Yeah, there will be a mixture of short videos as well as the long streams, because I just want to open the channel up to everyone. I'm aware of the time difference and things like that. Leo looks at, I'm a Roma fan. Do you think Xhaka is a good player for us? Listen, I'll be totally honest. I don't like Xhaka at Arsenal, but I genuinely think that Xhaka will do quite well in Italy if you put a good enough structure around him. In a slower division, I'm not sure, obviously, how good Roma's midfield is, but I know they've got people like Pellegrini and things like that. I think he'll do all right in Italy. I just don't think the Premier League works for him. So yeah, come and buy him, please. Get him. It'll be amazing for you. But no, I think he'll do all right over there. Santos is a legend for the goal at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, that's about the only thing he did. Gilberto obviously is. There was a couple of exceptions. Silvinho was all right. Edu was decent. Gilberto was fantastic. But in terms of the more recent ones, you know, Willian, Denilson, and Andre Santos, the Brazilians have not been great success for us. Olympia said, big up Big C, best podcast watching from Singapore. Thank you very much for tuning in. People, I'm out of here for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're approaching an hour. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to start getting a couple of guests on for the week now. And I'm going to start from Thursday, putting out another video or maybe even another stream. We'll do some Euros content as well. And as I said, live stream on Friday. And I'll look at sorting out that fantasy league for the Euros. And I'll give you all the code and we'll do, you know, a prize for the winner. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bless.